You just dropped over $1,000 on that gorgeous new LED TV. The bezels are razor thin, the picture is stunning. Everything looks like a movie theater. Then you press play on your first show. Dialogue becomes muddy soup. Explosions sound like someone tapping a cardboard box. You're constantly reaching for the remote to turn on subtitles because your ears literally cannot understand what people are saying. Here's what TV manufacturers don't tell you. They deliberately save $50 to $100 per unit by using the cheapest possible speakers. This isn't an accident. It's a calculated business decision. They know you're buying the TV for the picture, and they know you'll figure out the audio problem later, which is exactly when they want you to buy a soundbar separately. The problem? Most people buy the wrong one and waste $300 to $500 on a system that doesn't actually solve the problem. The good news? For that same $300 to $500, there are soundbars that completely transform your TV experience. This video shows you exactly which ones actually deliver versus which ones disappoint. Hit subscribe right now because you're about to learn why your TV sounds terrible, and more importantly, which soundbar fixes it permanently. Drop a comment with your current soundbar situation. Are you dealing with dialogue you can't hear? Bass that rattles instead of rumbles? Frustration with constantly adjusting volume? Real viewers sharing real problems help me make better recommendations, and your experience helps others avoid the same mistakes. The brutal truth about LED TV speakers. Nobody tells you. Modern LED TVs. In 2026, continue prioritizing thinness above everything else because consumers make purchasing decisions based on how sleek a TV looks mounted on a wall. It's one of the first things you notice at the store, how thin and premium the bezels are. Manufacturers respond by making televisions thinner and thinner, and overall depth as minimal as physically possible. This creates a massive problem for audio because good speakers require internal volume to move air properly, especially bass frequencies that need larger drivers and actual enclosed spaces to resonate. The speakers built into your LED TV are typically less than an inch in diameter, firing downward toward your TV stand or the wall behind it rather than toward your ears. This design saves space and keeps the TV's profile thin, but it means sound bounces off hard surfaces before reaching you, arriving muffled, distorted, and completely lacking presence. The limited size makes it physically impossible to reproduce low frequencies. There's literally not enough speaker cone area to push enough air. This is why explosions sound like gentle taps and music lacks any depth or power. Even expensive flagship LED TV, costing $3,000 or $4,000, use these same inadequate speaker systems. Why? Because adding proper audio would make the TV thicker, and thinner is what sells. Manufacturers understand this perfectly. They know their speakers are inadequate because they designed them that way. The dialogue problem is even worse. LED TV speakers lack a dedicated center channel that home theater systems use specifically for voice reproduction. Instead, dialogue gets mixed with background music and sound effects through the same tiny drivers. When a scene gets loud, an explosion, music swelling, dialogue completely disappears into the mix because those small speakers cannot simultaneously handle multiple frequency ranges at proper volumes. You end up constantly reaching for the remote to adjust volume throughout a single episode, or you just give up and watch everything with subtitles. That's not normal. That's a broken audio system. This isn't accidental design. TV makers know exactly what they're doing. They've calculated that most buyers prioritize screen quality and thin bezels over audio quality. So TV marketing focuses entirely on picture features. HDR, refresh rates, contrast ratios, while barely mentioning audio specs. They're counting on you to realize the sound is terrible after you get home, then return to buy a soundbar separately. This is intentional. Why soundbars are the perfect solution for LED TVs. Soundbars solve every single problem LED TV speakers create without requiring you to run wires around your room, mount speakers on walls, or become a home theater technician. The fundamental advantage is simple. Dedicated speaker drivers designed specifically for audio, not drivers crammed into leftover TV space as an afterthought. Even budget soundbars include separate drivers for different frequency ranges. dedicated tweeters for high frequencies, mid-range drivers specifically tuned for dialogue, and either built-in subwoofers or connections for external units that handle bass. This is night and day compared to TV speakers. The physical design makes an enormous difference. Instead of firing sound downward or backward into the wall, soundbars sit below your TV pointing directly at you, delivering clear direct sound without bouncing off surfaces first. The horizontal shape creates actual stereo separation. Sounds come from left, right, and center positions rather than everything collapsing into a muddy center blob. Better soundbars include virtual surround processing or physical rear speakers that create genuine spatial effects, something completely impossible with TV speakers. Modern soundbars in 2026 also include specific technologies addressing the problems you're experiencing right now. Dialogue enhancement modes boost voice frequencies and compress dynamic range so conversations stay crystal clear even during intense scenes. No more constant volume adjusting. Night modes keep overall volume reasonable while maintaining clarity, perfect if you live in apartments or watch late at night. Room calibration using built-in microphones measures your actual space and adjusts output to compensate for room acoustics. Your room's acoustic signature, not some factory preset. The connection simplicity is incredible. A single HDMI cable using ARC or eARC connects your soundbar to your TV. That's it, one cable. Your TV remote controls the soundbar volume. No juggling multiple remotes, no separate audio controls, just your normal TV setup with dramatically better sound. Premium soundbar recommendations that justify their cost. The Samsung HW-Q990F is the absolute pinnacle of soundbar technology in 2026. This isn't hyperbole. An 11.1.4 channel configuration creates completely immersive three-dimensional sound. You get the main soundbar, wireless rear surround speakers, a powerful wireless subwoofer, and upward-firing drivers that bounce sound off your ceiling to create overhead height effects. Watch a Dolby Atmos movie with this system and you genuinely hear helicopters passing overhead and rain falling above you. Not simulated, not exaggerated, actually happening around you in three-dimensional space. Sounds move around your room and you forget you're listening to a soundbar system instead of a full home theater installation. The Q990F typically costs $1,699.99, but is frequently available for $1,299 to $1,499 at Best Buy and Amazon. What makes it especially compelling for LED TV owners is Q Symphony. This feature works with compatible 2022 to 2025 Samsung TVs to actually use your TV speakers in coordination with the soundbar. Your TV speakers handle certain frequencies while the soundbar handles others, creating an even more expansive soundstage. This is unique to Samsung TVs from that era. If you have an older Samsung TV or a budget model, the Q990F works as a standard soundbar without this feature. The room correction technology measures your space and adjusts automatically with presets specifically tuned for movies, gaming, and music. The Sonos Arc Ultra takes a completely different approach. Exceptional performance from a single standalone unit without requiring additional purchases. You don't need to buy subwoofers or rear speakers up front. The breakthrough Sound Motion bass system produces deep, powerful low frequencies directly from the soundbar itself. You actually feel bass in your chest during action scenes, not external subwoofer bass, but bass that comes from the bar itself. The 5.1.2 channel configuration creates convincing surround and height effects from that single unit. If you add Sonos Era 300 rear speakers later, it expands to true 9.1.4 surround sound with physical rear channels. Currently retails for $1,099 but is discounted to $899 at many retailers right now. The Arc Ultra shines for versatility. It works perfectly with any TV brand through standard HDMI IEARC. It integrates with AirPlay 2 for streaming music, supports every major streaming service through the Sonos app, and can expand into a whole home audio system. TruePlay tuning uses your smartphone microphone to measure your room acoustics and optimize the soundbar specifically for your space. The Arc Ultra makes more sense for music lovers who also watch movies and want a system that excels equally at both, unlike the Samsung Q990F, which prioritizes movie immersion. The Sony Bravia Theater Bar 9 deserves consideration if you own a Sony LED TV or if you value DTS:X support alongside Dolby Atmos. The 5.0.2 channel setup includes upward-firing drivers for height effects and side-firing drivers that bounce sound off walls to create surround envelopment without rear speakers. With 13 built-in drivers and 585 watts of power, it delivers comprehensive sound staging in a compact package. Sony's exclusive acoustic center sync technology works only with Sony Bravia TVs from 2019 and newer. It uses your TV's built-in center speaker specifically for dialogue, creating exceptional clarity. For non-Sony TV owners, you lose that specific feature but still get exceptional sound quality with both Dolby Atmos and DTS:X support. Costs $1,198 to $1,499 depending on retailer. Mid-range soundbar options that deliver excellent value. The Samsung HW-B750F brings genuine 5.1 surround sound to the mid-range category through a clever design, using side-firing speakers in the soundbar itself. These speakers reflect sound off your side walls to create surround effects without requiring separate rear speaker units you have to place and hide. The included wireless subwoofer delivers proper bass extension that makes explosions feel powerful and music sound full rather than thin and tinny. For around $400, you're getting a system that handles movies, shows, and gaming competently with clear dialogue, convincing surround effects, and bass response that actually registers emotionally. Q Symphony compatibility works with compatible 2022 to 2025 Samsung TVs, providing additional surround synergy if your TV supports it. If you have an older Samsung model, it works as a standard soundbar without this feature. The build quality feels solid, and the wireless subwoofer gives you placement flexibility to optimize bass for your room layout. The Sonos Beam Gen 2 executes the compact soundbar concept brilliantly for small rooms, apartments, or bedrooms where full-size soundbars would overwhelm the space. Despite its small size, the Beam includes Dolby Atmos processing that creates convincing height effects through psychoacoustic processing and careful driver arrangement. True Playroom calibration measures your small space during setup and adjusts output so the Beam sounds balanced rather than boomy or harsh. The Sonos Beam Gen 2 typically retails for $499 but frequently sells for $369 to $449 on sale. You're paying premium pricing for a compact soundbar, but the Sonos ecosystem integration, excellent voice clarity for dialogue-heavy content, and build quality justify the cost. The Amazon Fire TV Soundbar Plus represents true budget territory at under $300 while still delivering decent surround effects. The base model comes with a built-in subwoofer but does not include rear surround speakers. This is the key distinction most people miss. For the $249 price tag, you get a compact soundbar with decent dialogue clarity and Dolby Atmos processing. If you want full 5.1 surround with physical rear speakers, Amazon sells bundles with satellites and subwoofers for $375 to $490. The audio quality won't impress audiophiles and the build feels more plastic than premium systems. But for the price, you're getting a functional soundbar that's a massive upgrade over TV speakers. One critical consideration: most budget soundbars come with only a 1-year manufacturer warranty. If durability is important, extended warranty options through Costco's All-State plans or Best Buy's protection plans add $100 to $150 to your cost, but provide valuable 2 to 3 year coverage on systems you plan to keep long-term. This is worth considering for systems you'll use daily, making the right choice for your specific situation. Here's the truth: choosing the wrong soundbar for your room is one of the top mistakes we see, and it results in audio that sounds either overwhelmed or underwhelming. Room size matters just as much as budget. If your LED TV sits in a bedroom or small apartment living room, Compact soundbars like the Sonos Beam or Samsung HW-B650F deliver proportional sound that fills the space without overpowering it. Full power systems like the Q990F will actually sound harsh in small rooms because the drivers produce more sound pressure than a small space can absorb, leading to excessive reflections and muddy audio. This is common. People think bigger is always better and then complain that premium systems sound terrible in their apartments. For medium living rooms in typical homes, mid-range soundbars like the Samsung HW-B750F provide the sweet spot. Enough power to fill the space without overwhelming a defined seating area. Bass stays tight and controlled. Dialogue stays clear without excessive volume needed. Large open spaces with high ceilings or open floor plans need flagship power from the Samsung HW-Q990F or Sonos Arc Ultra to fill the space properly and maintain clarity at distance. The multiple drivers and higher wattage ratings ensure sound reaches all listening positions effectively. Content preferences should also guide your choice. If you primarily watch dialogue-heavy content, news, talk shows, dramas, documentaries, prioritize soundbars with strong center channels and dialogue enhancement modes rather than chasing maximum surround effects. If you're a movie enthusiast who watches action films where surround effects and bass matter enormously, invest in systems with physical or convincing virtual surround plus powerful subwoofers. Gamers need low latency connections and wide sound stages that help with positional audio. The Samsung HW-Q990F's gaming modes and HDMI 2.1 compatibility matter here. Your TV's technical capabilities matter more than you realize. Check your TV's specifications to confirm it has HDMI ARC at minimum, preferably EARC for Dolby Atmos and DTS:X compatibility. Most LED TVs from the past 5 years support ARC, but budget models sometimes skip it, forcing optical connections that limit audio quality. Also check for HDMI IC/EC support for volume control through your TV remote. What you should absolutely avoid when buying soundbars. Generic no-name soundbars under $200 with impressive sounding specs like 500 watts and 7.1 surround sound almost never deliver. These use cheap drivers and poor amplification, resulting in harsh dialogue and muddy bass. You save money compared to legitimate options, but get audio that makes you think soundbars are overhyped when you just bought a bad product. Soundbar packages that bundle cheap wireless rear speakers or subwoofers often prioritize having more components over making those components actually good. A soundbar advertising rear speakers and a subwoofer for $300 sounds like amazing value until you realize the components are poor quality. You'd get better performance from a quality $300 soundbar without satellite speakers. Avoid soundbars that don't clearly specify HDMI, ARC, or EARC support in 2026. Optical-only soundbars represent outdated technology that limits your ability to access modern audio formats. Optical connections can't carry Dolby Atmos or high-resolution audio. Any soundbar released in the last 3 years should include HDMI ARC at minimum. Getting the setup right for maximum performance, physical placement matters enormously. The soundbar should sit directly below or above your TV's center at, or slightly below ear level when seated. Don't place it inside TV cabinets or furniture where doors and shelves block drivers and muffle output. Subwoofer placement deserves specific attention. The standard advice to put subwoofers in room corners works for maximum output, but often creates boomy, overwhelming low end. Better positioning places the subwoofer along the same wall as your TV, but a few feet to either side, creating strong bass that integrates smoothly. Experiment while playing bass-heavy content. Run any room calibration your soundbar offers. Sonos TruePlay, Samsung SpaceFit, and Sony Soundfield Optimization all work remarkably well, typically requiring 2 to 3 minutes of walking around your room. For soundbars without automatic calibration, spend time adjusting manual EQ settings rather than accepting factory defaults. Why this matters and what you should do next. The reality in 2026 is this. Your TV's built-in speakers are inadequate for enjoying the content you watch, and this won't improve in future models. Manufacturers keep making TVs thinner because that's what consumers reward, which means audio will continue requiring external solutions. Soundbars deliver theater-quality audio without requiring you to become a home theater expert. Before buying any soundbar, identify your priorities: dialogue clarity, surround immersion, bass impact, or budget constraints. Visit stores where you can hear soundbars playing actual content, not demo loops. Read user reviews from buyers using the same TV brand and room size as you. Verify your LED TV supports HDMI ARC or EARC. If you're buying premium systems costing over $800, the Samsung HW-Q990F at $1,299 to $1,699 delivers the most complete surround experience with wireless rears and genuine Atmos height effects. The Sonos Arc Ultra at $899 to $1,099 makes more sense for music lovers who also want excellent movies. The Sony Bravia Theater Bar 9 at $1,198 to $1,499 is the choice for Sony TV owners wanting acoustic center sync. For mid-range purchases, the Samsung HW-B750F at $399 to $449 gives you the most features and legitimate surround sound with included wireless subwoofer. The Sonos Beam Gen 2 at $369 to $499 is worth the premium for small rooms where compact size and Sonos quality matter more than raw power. For budget purchases under $300, the Fire TV Soundbar Plus at $249.99 or less on sale works if you're deeply budget constrained and understand you're getting a basic soundbar with built-in subwoofer but no surround speakers. Drop a comment with your room size and budget. I'll recommend the exact soundbar that fits your situation. If you've already bought one of these soundbars, tell me whether it met your expectations, because those real-world reviews help other viewers avoid mistakes. Like this video if you discovered something about TV speaker cost-cutting you didn't know before. Subscribe to this channel because the next video covers the extended warranty trap that costs soundbar buyers an extra $200 they don't need to spend. Your LED TV deserves audio that matches its picture quality. The right soundbar delivers exactly that steam.